Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and today I'll be going into the Premier League 11 outside of the top 6, and when I say outside the top 6 I mainly mean not including clubs of Manchester United, Liverpool, Manchester City, Tottenham, Chelsea and Arsenal. I know that isn't the current top 6 in the Premier League at the moment, but I'm going to go off the traditional top 6 and name my best team outside of them bunch. In goal, I've got Kasper Schmeichel. Of course, Kasper Schmeichel is a Premier League winner. Been a very consistent keeper in the top flight of English football now for years. One of the most consistent goalkeepers, really. I mean, he's always been solid for Leicester and generally been a great Premier League player. Of course, he will always probably be overshadowed by his dad, who was arguably the best Premier League keeper of all time. But yeah, Kasper Schmeichel's been excellent for years, and I had pretty difficulty choosing. This might have been my hardest decision, actually. I also do rate keepers such as Dubravka. Henderson's had a great season, but overall, I think just for consistency alone and how good he has been down the years, I'm going to go with Kasper Schmeichel. Right back, I've got Matt Doherty. What a player he's been since he came to the Premier League. He's climbed through the leagues with Wolves, and generally, I think Doherty, going forward and defensively, is arguably the most complete right back in the Premier League. And this was a toss-up between him and Ricardo Pereira, but I just went with Doherty in the end because I think he adds a bit more going forward than Pereira. But two very good right backs, but Doherty's got a very good story as well. And yeah, for me, very good right back. I mean, he's crucial to Wolves as well at times, Doherty. And two centre backs now. First off, I've gone for Jamal Lascelles, who I think has been a terrific leader for Newcastle for a few years now. I think Newcastle defensively probably is the best part of the team, and Lascelles makes the defence, he makes it very solid, and he's a good leader at the back. And yeah, he's been good at Newcastle for a few years as well, so I do think overall I'd go with him first. And then next centre-back I've got is James Tarkowski, again, someone who I think he kind of makes Burnley's defence a lot better when he's playing, and he's been a very good defender for a few years now. I mean, obviously he's been in the first team for about 2 or 3 seasons, and he's filled in brilliantly, and he makes the Burnley team more solid when he plays. Left back, I've gone for Ben Chilwell. Chilwell seemed the obvious choice here, I must say. There's not really a lot of competition for him outside the top 6, and Chilwell is a very good left back, and for me should definitely be England's #1 left back in the future. Chilwell for me could even end up with all due respect to Leicester, a bigger club in the coming years as well. I think he's brilliant. Holding midfield, I've gone for Wilfred Ndidi, another Leicester player. And Ndidi, for me, it reminds me a bit of N'Golo Kante, very critical to the way Leicester play. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Ndidi. I think whenever he doesn't play, you kind of see the weaknesses in Leicester, really, and he's quite underrated until this season as well, indeed. He never quite got the plaudits until this season, but terrific, and he definitely belongs in this team. Another centre midfielder, I've gone for Ruben Neves. Massive fan of Neves. I think big things coming. I mean, to believe Neves is actually 22 years old, which is quite hard to believe since he burst on the scene in England in the Championship and the Premier League. Neves only scores good goals, and that's the thing with Neves. He scores screamers and generally just has a dictates the game very well, kind of sits in the midfield. And on his day, certainly Neves, he does look a world beater, and he's a very good centre mid, and I think that his big things are ahead for him in the future. He's only 22, he's got a hell of a future ahead of him, the Portuguese, and expect to see him in the Premier League or maybe even at Spanish football perhaps in the next 10-15 years, doing brilliantly. Attacking midfield, now this was a toss-up between James Maddison and Jack Grealish, but in the end I went for James Maddison. Fan of both of them, but for me, Maddison's just got the edge on Grealish. I've always, since he's started playing for Leicester in the Premier League, I think he's been excellent. And yeah, I think Maddison, he's got a big future for England as well. Personally, I'd play him as number 10 at the European Championships next year. And I expect Maddison perhaps to go to somewhere like Manchester United or Liverpool in the coming years. I do think he's that good. And yeah, I think Maddison, I definitely think that he just gets the nod over Grealish here. It was a tough decision in the end, because I think Grealish's form has been better recently before the season came to a unfortunate end for now. But yeah, Maddison for me overall I think is the better player. Right wing, I've gone for Adama Traore. Now, I don't think I've seen a player improve one season to another as much as Adama Traore, and every time I watch Traore, he's kind of exciting, and I never really got that feeling of him, the previous seasons where he just used to run with the ball and mainly lose it without doing anything useful. And I'm sure if you said to Wolves fans if you'd sell him in the summer, most would have taken it, but now he probably remains one of the most important players. And Yeah, again, it's difficult to know a player has improved as much in a season than Adama Traore, but he is terrific, and he just looks like he's going to continue to get better, and the future can only be bright for him as well. At left wing, I've gone for Richarlison, who's surprisingly is the only Everton player in this lineup, really, but he's the only one I could really think of to put in. But yeah, Richarlison has really done well since moving to Everton, of course, for big money. And yeah, I think Richarlison, again, and maybe, of course, Barcelona put in a massive bid for him in January as well. But Richarlison is done very good for Everton. For me, Everton's best player, and again, I wouldn't be surprised to see Richarlison go on to bigger and better things as well. With all due respect to Everton, but yeah, Traore and Richarlison, I'd definitely put them two on the wings, and then striker, I've gone for Jamie Vardy. I mean, it was a bit of a toss-up between Vardy and Raul Jimenez. I think Jimenez has had a brilliant season, and I am a big fan of the Mexican, but it's difficult to overlook what Jamie Vardy has achieved in recent years. I mean, obviously breaking the record for most goals in consecutive games, and then, Vardy's he's just a great striker, and I think he's been at Leicester a few years now as well, and I'd definitely put Vardy as the 9. It was a difficult choice between him and Jimenez, but in the end I give the edge to Jamie Vardy. And yeah, I mean, I've quite a few Leicester players in there. I believe I've got about 4 or 5 Leicester players, but I think that is probably my best team outside the top 6. I mean, I might have missed the odd player, but it's kind of difficult. But yeah, that's the team I'd definitely go with. And yeah, thank you for watching, and let me know in the comments your best team outside the top 6. So yes, thank you. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll be back with you soon. Thank you.